Hey guys, what's up? It's Giuseppe, and today I just want to go over a little bit about what's going on with Yoast SEO and how you can use AI to optimize that, but also like what it all means back there. I've had a couple of questions of people asking me like, hey, how do I use Yoast SEO, and should I care about everything that happens in Yoast SEO, or is there something I can ignore, or what do I do about it? So today we're going to jump into a little bit of Yoast SEO. I'm going to walk you through the different fields they have there and how you can use those to make sure that the SEO on your website is optimized to the best of its abilities. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so if you have Yoast SEO set up in the back of your website, you're probably looking at it and thinking, what is this? What does it matter? What should I focus on, or what should I care about? And I'm going to let you know real quick what's going on here. So let's jump into it. So if you're using Elementor or a builder like it, what you're going to have is just a page. It'll say the title of the page up here. You have the logo, WordPress header, settings, a place for you to go and edit the page. You're going to have a whole bunch of information down here on the right. Yoast SEO, is it readable? Is the readability score and the SEO analysis are both right there. You can set a featured image. You can set a parent page. You can allow or disallow comments. These are common things, but the big thing I want to talk about with everyone is just like this area here, this this window. So what you'll see here is there's a couple different things happening. So you have these tabs up front: SEO, readability, schema, and social. You have the focus key phrase. You have the Google preview of how this actually looks when people are getting into it. And then you have the SEO title, slug, and meta description. So the question that I had was, what in here does the average person need to care about if you're focused on SEO for your website? And the answer is not everything. It's less than you think. So the focus key phrase, just to start from the top down, the focus key phrase is something which you can generally ignore. Let's say, this is for contractor in Kelowna. If you see when you do this, it switched the SEO to this little yellow face instead of the red. Kelowna contractor, and all this focus key phrase does is it goes through the content on the page and it looks for how many times Kelowna contractor comes up or is available. So it's going to want to make sure you have it in an H1 as a heading. It's going to make sure you have it in a subheading somewhere. It's going to want to make sure you talk about it in the body of your copy, in the body text of the website, in the copy. It's not really important because what's happening is Google doesn't really go through on this hard checklist of, okay, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Okay. Because Kelowna contractors in the H1 and the H2 and the H3 and it's in the body copy, this is generally, we're going to put this at number 1 for Kelowna contractor. It's just not how it works. It's not how it works at all. So that's why, you could imagine if you were to do like a little mental exercise for yourself, if you were to go to a page and the headline was Kelowna contractor and the subheadline was Kelowna contractor and the body copy just said, are you looking for a Kelowna contractor in Kelowna for your contracting? Here's a Kelowna contractor. Like this, yes, it's crossing off all the boxes, but it's just not giving any value to the user in terms of telling them what they should be focused on, the types of information they need, whether or not you're an approved contractor. If you even there's so many other things people have questions about when you're a contractor that just saying Kelowna contractor over and over again isn't going to be really what does it for you. Now this is where we're going to take a little bit more of a focus approach though as we move down here. So the Google preview, that's my bread. I just made bread. Hold on. I think I should share this with you guys. Little homemade bun this morning. Having some fun. Okay, so now that that's all through, let's just keep going. So we got the mobile result, desktop result. So this is how it's going to look. This is what Google's going to show people, when you happen to come up for a search result. The SEO title, this is what, this is this part here. So home, Canadian Precision Homes. So if we go, we could just add it to the end there. This part though, these are called variables, so they'll change for whatever you want. We want the title there, and we want the page there, which there isn't, and then a separate title, page, separator, and site title. And then we just added Kelowna Contractor. So you can have pretty much anything you want here. So just to Kelowna General Contractor, and now it's red because it's too long. Canadian Precision Homes, beautiful. The slug, we're gonna change this just so it's home. Because it's a home page, the slug generally isn't seen when you go to the home page. It's just the www.yourwebsite.com. But down here, this is where we're actually gonna focus in a little bit, is on the meta description. So when it comes to meta descriptions, this is what Google is actually looking into. So according to AI, because I am your AI guy, Yoast SEO applies the meta description to your website so that Google can read it and potentially use it as a description in search results. The keyword here is potentially. It's not guaranteed that it's going to use it. So when you use Yoast to write a meta description for a web page, the plugin automatically includes that description in the HTML code of the page as a meta tag. So whatever we put in here is inserted into the code of the page. So when Google goes through and it looks at your website, it's thinking, what is this website for? Who is it targeting? What are the keywords? Like, how do I make sure that people who are searching for this are going to find it? And how do I know if it's of a high quality? So what they do is this meta description here, Yoast will actually put it into the background of your website so that Google crawls through and it just checks off these things. Okay, the meta description says Kelowna General Contractor, call today. And that usually works out really fine. That's going to do everything you need. But what I want to do is I just want to start a new chat here. I want to show you how you can use the AI for a meta description. So let's go write a meta description for a general contractor in Kelowna, BC. Okay, so now this is going to give us a little, looking for a reliable and experienced contractor in Kelowna, BC. Our team of skilled professionals provide exceptional construction and renovation services. Now the thing is, as you can see, this is like almost all the way there. So you can only have about 150 characters. So we're going to go make this 150 characters or less. Actually, I think it's 160. So let's go 160 characters or less. Beautiful. So now we have exactly what we need. It's still a little too long. We're going to switch this to get. Still too long. How long are we? Oh yeah. So this is saying that even this is too long. So we're going to shorten it for services 4. There you go. So now the headline is green because it's not too long. It includes our key term. The meta description is green. It's not too long. It includes our key term and a geographic filter there. So we can be filtered by Kelowna, BC, and top-notch construction renovation services. So that's plenty. So we're just going to click update. And you can see here, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when Google finds it. So at the end of the day, this is really all you need. You know, you can ignore the top part of the Yoast SEO, but I would make sure that your SEO title and your meta description are covered, and you can use AI for that. So this was an example of what you can ignore on the Yoast SEO plugin and how to use AI to fill out your meta description. So yeah, this was Giuseppe with AI Fridays. Yeah, let's call it AI Fridays. I like AI Fridays. AI Fridays, you guys saw a little bit of my baking talent or lack thereof. And yeah, now you know. So anyways, have a great weekend. See you guys.